always got that vision on him. So how is he meant to play around this? Is this just going to mean like you'll have to build up nice and early, or?
I think he'll go for the Yules. You never know for sure. Bear in mind that it's really only in the early game that you're susceptible to this, and it's going to take...
30 seconds to battle.
You have a lot of counter initiation, right? A Lich can teleport in, Grimstroke can TP in. It's not ideal, but he'll have Stampede to peel as well. And Liquid, this is a much more difficult game for you. You can't 4-1 anymore. Shadow is playing Gyrocopter, so sure, I'm sure GH is perfectly capable of leading him around by the hand, but you've got to expect them to be at least a second too slow.
It was when we first saw this pick come up, we're like, okay, how is this actually going to function? The tether is up, and now Shadow, he's too far away. He's actually going to give away first blood up on the top lane. Couldn't stick around with the IO, and GH just tries to get what he can, but it doesn't work. He'll have to back off and even TP out from here.
So, it's pretty simple. Put shields on the Centaur, he runs in. Far less complex, and I think the TNC lineup is very well geared to defeat this Liquid lineup. And well, we'll see. Matumba Man on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, Matumba on the Tidehunter, but it's also something else I kind of wanted to flag a little bit. It's the fact that we talked about like how these dual lanes, tri lanes, it's so difficult to rotate around without being scouted out. But now you're going to have SB with Iron Shell on you. This would be so easy for Kuro to just jump over towards the mid lane. And this time around, this not like they've put one observer ward down, but it's a very late information ward.
Yeah, and it is a Tidehunter, and he's deceptively strong in the laning phase because the Gush is a 40% slow, -4 armor, and it lasts for 4 seconds. You have a charging Spirit Breaker on top. You will be able to find that kill, but they're going to need to try and rotate on Armel early, kill him once before Ravage, once with Ravage, and then look to ward up his jungle, ensure he doesn't have that time to recover.
Yeah. It's also that other thing to look at is the fact that like the Darkseer as well as the Spirit Breaker will be playing very far down. Okay, now he's going to walk past the Observer Ward, and Armel will have to back up for a little bit. Yeah,
I think that ward is more optimal if it's placed on the high ground like we saw earlier today, because now you won't have that vision on your own shrine, and a Spirit Breaker has a very easy path if you just wanted to, say, charge from this direction, where he'll often be because they're backlaning. Could punish them.
Kuro walked in just to also leech a little bit of the experience. He didn't have the greater bash up just yet. It's this top lane that I'm really worried about when you look towards Team Liquid. As you said, very simple dual off lane for TNC. How do you make the communication game between GH and Shadow work? Like, GH is walking away, the tether disappears. Shadow, he's got to really connect and get his mind in the game to stay up, like keep up with this Liquid lineup.
Top lane, Grimstroke Centaur, it's formidable, but they will need that +1 if they want to find a kill. It's difficult to land anything on anyone other than the Wisp, and he's got 800 HP already.
I'm loving this bottle pickup already. Regeneration route for the Tidehunter from mid lane, and that's exactly what they're going for. Gush out, Kuro adds some pressure. He doesn't come in with an Iron Shell, but that's why Ninja Boogie is forced to also stand here in the lane.
Yeah, I really like what TNC's done here. And yes, I know it's IO Gyro, but that combination takes a very long time to come online. And I again point to Armel on the win condition, not the setup, not the guy that's got to make all the moves. I love when this guy is in a position where all he has to do is play around his teammates, not
literally exactly what they're doing. SB's charging up, going to try and create a little bit more space. Double hoof stomp, but here comes your Spirit Breaker right into the Centaur. They'll get a secondary Rocket Barrage up, but that Centaur is so damn tanky. He's got the boots to get a little bit more distance away too. Another Rocket Barrage, but they work together, but still it moves around the Grimstroke, and then a charge forward. Kuro mad cowing under the tier 1 tower, working with Shadow. GH and Shadow both find these kills, and even force the TP up from Ninja Boogie. The Lich will join the lane.
I would have. They were at a level. Ah, man, I just don't know if I like that play. You're gonna go for more?
Centaur's just gonna run forward. Frost Shield up, there's your first slow. There's no combination with Tim's. He didn't want to use the Ink Swell.
You're being a bit too aggressive in this top lane. I understand you smell blood, but it's all good. You can out CS this lane. Gyrocopter has 9 CS, Centaur has 7 denies. You don't need to pressure a lane this hard when you're already winning it. Far better to just keep creep equilibrium, out CS. Gyrocopter is not going to be farming stacks anytime soon.
And even then, like right now, I think Tidehunter's going to be a better farmer of those stacks. Mind Control's been having a good time on bottom lane. Nowhere near as much experience as he probably would like. He's a full half level. Full half. What is that kind of talk? Yeah, last game of the day. He's half a level in front of Mind Control, and he's still got the creep wave coming in too. Mid lane, SB's charging forward, is keeping information on Armel. Matumba will tank through this. He got Anchor Smash off cooldown in 1 second time. Armel able to juke it around inside the tree line. So the SB wants to keep going. Matumba, he's got Gush. This is almost like a classic Jimmy build. You go for the bottle on Tidehunter, you've always got this never-ending Gush that you can just pump out while up on top lane. GH can tether away to a defensive shadow. And Kuro's got charge off cooldown in 2 seconds time. So even if they get aggressive up on top, which TNC want to, is 15 seconds till runes, they're going to find a different target. The sentries try and block it. There's your charge forward. Grimstroke cancelled out. The homing missile will switch targets down to the Centaur, which traps him for the moment on top of the bounty rune. Even a first hit bash. Sure that this is why the Frost Shield is up and why the Frost Shield is so good. You get the War Stomp off, but is this really worth it? You're going to lose your Centaur. 5 stick charges available. They won't use it. And Shadow is now up to 3 kills. The bounty runes will go the way of TNC.
The wave was pushing a bit as well. I mean, both teams lose a wave there, but again, TNC, I understand bounty runes are spawning, but you're always going to be out-rotated when Kuroki can just charge across the map.
Yep.
You don't have that same mobility, and Gyrocopter, again, even though that's only a level 2 rocket barrage, that's so much damage. It's 360 every Q, and he's not running out of them. There's a Wisp tethering him.
So Lich moves back into the mid lane to try and defend. Kuro has hit level 3. Now remember, we have this ability. Like if you are an old Spirit Breaker player, you'll probably not think of Bulldoze as an ability, but oh boy. It's the status resist on Kuro. You're going to want it for now. The stun's already come out. He can charge away if he wants to. He could stand his ground because Matumbaman is starting to move over. And Matumbaman does actually have Arcane Rune, and he's got Ravage available. Makes that first Ravage usage a lot more efficient, but the charge from SB, they realize the Centaur is alone because the support's rotated up Centaur. Warp Stomp, he'll get it off, and that pretty much cancels the charge forward.
And just to note, like, I know he died once because of the rotation, but Matumbaman was winning that mid lane before he actually got the kill on Armel. And would you ever think that, going back a year or two, that a Tidehunter's mid, and he's forced a Tinker out of lane and won the first few waves?
It's the changes. It's Anchor Smash changes, right? Like
that's true.
And it's the fact that I actually remember in the Alpha, Dendi, now part of Team Tigers, he would actually go Maelstrom onto his Tidehunter just for it was for shits and giggles. And now it actually becomes a legitimate item to build on the Tidehunter. Maybe not that legit, but
legitimate,
unique,
legitimate like Joffrey maybe. You got a nice ward up top.
Oh,
okay, but look at the stack.
I'll give you points for the Game of Thrones reference. Yeah, this is really nice for Tidehunter to take. The Courier's even flying over the top of it. One more Anchor Smash and he claims it all. Now Grimstroke will try and do something about it. Spirit Breaker moves down south. Remember, there is still the Tidehunter Ravage. They kind of want to have the fight, so you charge forward into Ninja Boogie. One more bash from Kuro would probably help him out. Matumba, okay, he doesn't care. He commits the Ravage. They know they'll get the kill.
I like it. You got an Arcane Rune, you know you need it for the kill. There's no reason to hold on to something that you most likely won't be using just because, again, he's just going to go straight back mid, get that bottom rune, and he'll have an invis now. 90 seconds, Ravage is up again. Look for him to possibly TP somewhere else to utilize that just as it comes off cooldown.
I actually cannot believe just how easily Mind Control is also not being touched. Yeah. This guy's been playing fantastic this tournament, and you're giving him free farm. And Faceless Void is one of these heroes that cannot contest him without support. And they're going to try it. He's got Chronosphere available. This is before the Darkseer has any kind of real defensive items. He went for Arcanes as well as Basori, but Chrono's out. He tried to get the charge off. The Iron Shell is on the Spirit Breaker. So now we'll see just how well it can work. Not pulled back in, and Gabby gets a double kill. This is fantastic for him. This will speed up his damage output by increasing the speed of the Mask of Badness.
Oh, indeed. And that was Liquid getting a little over-aggressive. So far, both teams have tried for a little aggression in the enemy jungle, and both have been punished. You gotta, I don't know if going in on this Void that's threatening Chrono is ever the move, but Mind Control though, respect, because he's been pressuring that back lane for a couple of minutes, and yeah, he gets punished now, but Void was level 8. He got a lot of farm on that creep camp and behind that wave. He does die for it, but still fine. Plenty of net worth.
Top
70
lane.
CS.
SB's charging forward. They've got homing missile to combine it, so one of these stuns will be able to connect. Spirit Breaker, the Hoof Stomp, keeps them away for a bit, but with the call down and the Rocket Barrage, and they're keeping them alive. GH's Fairy Fire popping, so they can stay on top of the Gyrocopter. Then underneath the tower for Tims, Armel, he'll TP in to be involved in this fight. Spirit Breaker wants to charge forward, but Armel, so much damage, and Liquid, you talk over aggression on bottom. They do the same up on top.
And they get the all chat from Tims. A perfect bit of salt to rub in the wound. One well played by Armel. He doesn't have bots either. That was just him teleporting top. That was an excellent rotation. He did it into the tree gap as well, so I'm not certain Liquid noticed until it was maybe a second or two too late.
Yeah, when the March of the Machines was already down, then you start to feel the burst damage. He did go for a 2-2-4, so that March does hurt hard. And the kills, another item to move up. We talk about the Faceless Void getting the kills on bottom, moves the Mask of Madness forward. This increases the speed for BTs.
Yeah, I'm liking this game. I think TNC, you're in a position where you should be feeling confident. They're certainly feeling themselves, and right now they have all the momentum. The last two skirmishes going handily in their favor, but it is always a Wisp Gyro. You can never count out Liquid, especially if they have this combination.
Matumba's forcing the issue. He wants to get this hit on the tower. He'll charge forward into the Lich, combining with the Gush. -4 armor, Grimstroke's nearby. That's why they're Sinister Gazing him in, and they can soul bind both Kuro and Matumba together. I don't think is he waiting for it? Denial on the tower comes from Ninja Boogie. They don't commit any major abilities, and they deny the tier 1 tower. Great play from TNC.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, they're going again. Relocate. They're bringing in friends. They're chasing after Tims. And Kuro, he'll get in pretty deep underneath the tier 2 tower. Maybe too deep. Call down. Ninja Boogie will walk back into it. The homing missile. You still have Tims staying alive. And Chronosphere, Gabby, he's holding it thanks to the relocate of GH, taking Shadow back up to the top. Good hold.
Indeed. And it's nice movement from TNC, and this, I just feel that their game is much easier to play. That's the key that I want to focus on, because they aren't going to be abused around the map like Liquid did in the previous game. Spirit Breaker, sure, you can be everywhere, but he's very low damage. In fact, the entire draft of Liquid is very low damage until the Tide and Gyro. I can't believe I'm saying Tide, you know, physical damage items, but until they come online, it's really all about the pickoff. The team fights do not favor them.
Smoke's gonna break, a quick jump up high, but it was Kuro who was down in the tree lines. They're putting already the stun onto the Faceless Void. Slowed down, they're underneath Shrine. Makes it difficult. The Shrine did get knocked off, and now, yeah, Ravage available. Charging forward towards the Grimstroke. Get the chaining stun, so no follow through. Ninja Boogie is in pretty deep, so they put down 2 Observer Wards on this run. Both away from any of the camps, so nothing will be blocked.
I don't know if Liquid knows that that happened. We'll see. Usually, if they sniff out some wards, they immediately buy sentries, but they did not in this case. And oh, Chain Frost!
Yeah, it's Ninja Boogie going for the solo. GH and Shadow trying to split up, but they're very tanky. Chain Frost is good, but IO is better.
Yeah, that was very ambitious.
They just kill top.
He's probably dead from that position anyway.
Time dilation, Mask of Madness, chaining stuns, way too good. Kuro doesn't even pop the 1 charges. Felt like he was not going to live through that, but he still wanted to burn it.
Yeah. You can have a blink soon on Rior as well, and then he can just get active. And I'm normally not a huge fan of rushing blink, but he did get the 2 bracer buildup, and in addition, it's far easier to use that when you have that Tinker as the global threat. Bots are active. He'll probably be finishing a blink maybe 2 to 4 minutes after Centaur does, and then it's so easy for them to find kills on the Wisp, on the Spirit Breaker, on anyone they want pretty much.
Well, they're waiting for the gank over on Rior, and that's why Tidehunter Invis Rune. Gush him up, holding the Nether Strike. He knew the Stampede was going to be coming, but Gabby goes in for the Chronosphere. That's very tanky here. Oh, no! Shadow's going to right with the call down. Faceless Void and the Tinker both going down. Not where he wanted to be. The homing missile will switch targets over towards Tims under the tower. Where's it going now? It ain't to the Lich. Oh boy, that's one of those replays that you probably don't want to see, but you do want to see.
Man, that is...
Look at the tips. Look at the tips coming in. It's like, thanks, Shadow. You did a good job, boy.
I like the decision from Shadow. He's gone the 2 Wraith Treads into Maelstrom. Whenever you're playing against a ton of disables, mischance, it doesn't work on laser, but even if he's chronoed, he will be able to still get those Ags hits off if the Wisp is tethering him at level 15+. And it's by far the fastest acceleration item for a Gyrocopter, and you already know this game is going to go late.
Faces Voice looking for a fight, but that's the one here he doesn't want to do. Mind Control's been sitting on bottom lane, up to level 12 now. Almost completed up the full pipe. Here's that fight once again. So the jump in, they waited perfectly. Gabby, Chrono's in, but it's not anywhere where they wanted to be. Caught underneath the tower.
They just don't...
In the middle of 5 heroes of Liquid.
They are not ready yet. Tinker is the sole source of damage. I'm talking about the Liquid damage issues, but really, I mean, if you fight into their ultimates, you're going to get wrecked. TNC, you need Tinker to have more. Right now, he doesn't even have a Blink Dagger. Let him farm, delay this game, use Chrono to find free kills. It's tough to team fight at the moment, especially if you're not targeting GH.
So instead, like, while Ravage is down, take the tier 1 tower. TNC look at what they can get out of this map. As you said, like, farm up the Tinker, get the Blink Dagger available. But Void wants to be still a presence on this map.
Yep.
But they're changing the lanes up, Liquid. Like, you've got Kuro farming up mid. The Gyrocopter has moved with the Eye to the bottom lane. They're in much need of levels. Like, yes, you have the Maelstrom over on Shadow, that's nice, but you still want to have the level 15 into the IO, and this is taking some time.
Yeah, the difficulty is both of your supports on the side of TNC are very squishy. And this is where Spirit Breaker thrives, especially now that Kuro, he's already level 9. Lich is still just 6. Like, you get charged, and it becomes child's play for Liquid to isolate you, pick you off immediately. Like, you relocate on a charged support, they are dead before they can cast a spell. And look at the warding from Liquid as well. They have total control now of the TNC jungle.
Which is funny because it goes the other way. That TP did not complete from the Tinker. He was beating onto the creep wave, but the Anchor Smash kills it off. And now you see Tide try and sustain, look for the vac into the Ravage. Darkseer, he's holding it for the moment. It's Iron Shells onto the Tide Hunter. Surge is not available to move him forward, but it doesn't matter when you got Spirit Breaker starting up the initiation. They're all grouped up nicely, 5 heroes together, but Centaur, he wants to fight. Stampede off, but the Ravage, Tide just breaks free so quickly, but Soulbind, it catches Io. Shadow can't do anything. It was a perfect double chain frost from the Lich.
Wow, that was an incredible punish from the side of TNC. Somehow they got nipped by the Ravage. They were so far away, but the positioning, that's how you got to fight. That initial Chrono that we saw the first time was just a hard commit. You can't play like that. Kite the Tide, kite the Spirit Breaker, find your stronghold around the Tinker March, and get that Soulbind off. You have double laser, double chain frost, double edge. You're gonna find kills.
Now we'll see just how tanky they can be. Kuro charging forward, hits on 2. They'll back into a double Anchor Smash, not to mention a 3-man wall. Kuro started this fight with 250 HP. He's barely alive, and they'll stick together to get not 1, not 2, but they'll look for the 3rd kill. Faceless Void, is there a charge of darkness? You're looking to move in, but it doesn't matter. Shadow already gets the revenge into Gabby. And Tinker does add a lot of pressure on top lane, however, so Liquid is still back into recovery.
That's vintage SEA Dota right there. A little too much aggression. They got a little overconfident thanks to that teamfight victory. Liquid does punish. They were close. They had Chronosphere that entire time, but just weren't able to use their spells in ways that would have worked. They have the nice wards placed thanks to the movement. They will have that one near Ancients fading soon. And if I'm TNC, I'd like to see them smoke. Get that Chrono used. Find some pickoffs and establish map control.
We were actually talking about this before when we saw the Spirit Breaker pick up. The kind of build, especially in the talent tree, that you want to see from him. He went for the plus 600 night vision. Is this exactly what you're looking for? You didn't think like he needed the armor in this game at all?
I like it here because you're going to beat TNC by finding the right targets and jumping them. You want to abuse vision, abuse the initiator's advantage. You don't want to be in a position like armor's not going to help. You're going to die to Tinker, right? You just gotta find these guys.
Io and Gyro, they're in trouble. Faces Void, started up for the Chronosphere, won't get it. And GH, he moves perfectly to the side. They'll tether over now. The hookstop is over on the Gyrocopter. The rocket spam is just kicking in non-stop. Now you're Chrono both. The Lich Chain Frost will not work, however. Darkseer, he's got the back, he's got the Iron Shells. They've kept him alive! Shadow is up! 60 HP was all he needed. Void goes down. You'll have the Centaur join him as well. 9 HP he drops to. 1 charge up. Blink Dagger comes off cooldown. And it looks like Liquid don't have the vision. Oh yeah, they do. The Observer Ward's inside the lane. Gush forward, won't matter. And Tidehunter just continued to just run forward looking for more.
That is all. That's the team fight item disparity. I've heard so many different captains talk about the importance of these sustain items. You've got a Pipe and a Vlad's on Liquid, but the 3 cores of TNC, they've all got to worry about their own games. None of them can afford to go back for these items to help their team. Pipe Vlad's, that's the difference maker, and that's why the Gyrocopter stays alive. Of course, probably could have optimized your spellcasting a little bit better, TNC, but...
It was difficult with the initiation target, right? Like, they thought they were going to get the double Chronosphere, but it would have been max range right on the edges, and the Chain Frost wouldn't have bounced that far anyway. Yeah. So, they wanted IO as well as Gyro locked together. Didn't get what they wanted. And Liquid punish.
The concern is the Void. Like, we already know how much damage IO Gyro is going to do. We've seen Tide Hunters go late game, as weird as that may sound, as right clickers. Gabby, he doesn't even have his Shadow Blade finished yet. There's no farming mechanic for this hero. Yeah, he can right-click creeps one at a time, but Gyrocopter is going to be accelerating much faster, especially considering he went for that Maelstrom. He's going to finish his BKB. That's on the way. Liquid is hitting a timing. You really don't want to mess with them when Ravage is active.
Yep.
And it is with an Invis Rune and the Blink Dagger available.
But this is the strength now of TNC's lineup. This is the reason why they want to pick up Tinker over on Armel. Get him over all around the map. He's got Blink Dagger, he's got the BT, he's got everything else he needs. Ether Lens for long range. We thought he would go into Eul Scepter just in case, but he's realizing he needs to have that damage output. They need to kill off the IO with the burst damage, so Dagon's the next one for him.
I feel like, okay, I like the Dagon because of the Soulbind. I like Ags as well because of the Soulbind. It's kind of a preference thing, and you know, you will be able to blow up the Wisp, but this is a huge ask for Armel. He's got to do nearly all of the damage.
Look at that movement speed. Never really think about that combination. Spirit Breaker surge forward as he charges Soulbind and the double Chain Frost. You can think of that combination. You will lose Kuro. Matumble will get the Ravage off. It's a one-for-one trap, but now here comes Shadow in the cooldown off target, and they're locked together with their own Chronosphere. Darkseer tries to create space, backing around, actually pulling Centaur into the middle of the Chronosphere. GH Bullcrab, he's still alive at 150 HP, and Shadow BKBs up the Flacken and damage spills out, allowing him to get the kill over on the Lich, but he's lost his entire team. Needs to rock a barrage back, and Gabby senses it coming. Time walks away, and TNC, what a fantastic fight for them.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake from Liquid, though, I gotta say. That was the IO Gyro just not able to link in time. The ult came out, but it hit the river. If we have a replay, I'd like to take a look at it, because that was just miscoordination, and that's the difference in this game. Your stand-in is no longer playing this one position that can just safely farm corners of the map. Your Gyrocopter, you've got to be involved as much as possible. And watch, so like, look at the link. The Wisp Gyro, they ran, they're hesitating still. Shadow is not immediately coming over. He's going to pop his ultimate, but for what? Like, he's still not here. The Ravage is out. He's still not here. Now he's ulting on a solo Void. Leaps away, no problem. Runs straight up the high ground into a double Chronosphere. Armel has enough time to get a full cycle back to base and then come up to find even more kills. Shadow also not getting BKB up before the Chrono. This is just not the same Liquid that we saw even in the previous game.
Yep. It's just, and it's well played by TNC. So you have those kind of problems. Now, here we go once again. It's a very, look at the speed of that little pink icon down on the mini-map. It's the surging in Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, this was a I love this combination. You surge Spirit Breaker, and he does damage.
It's the movement speed is damage plus 24%
exactly, and
at the moment.
You're no longer capped at haste speed, so you actually just run it, not quite over 9,000, but you know, you're in the 4 digits at certain points.
I don't think, we've seen no hero ever reach 9,000 damage. Apart from maybe Pudge during Year of the Beast.
That's true.
Then it was 9,000 damage.
I mean, Bulldog does get a lot of viewers nowadays. Bear in mind, those are 2 fights now. Oh, Void first.
Yeah,
no Ravage,
Relocate's coming in. He'll jump up, but that's why Shadow was already there. And you've got support. The Soulbind is out, and here goes your double Chain Frost. They want to split. GH just has to tank it. Shadow is the BKB to protect himself, and then TP out. No, they fear they pull him back in again. The BKB wore off. Man, I don't know if they had the confidence not to use the Chrono. They knew the timing, but double kill, Ninja Boogie.
They didn't even have dust for that. There's no way they're finding that kill. Does anyone have dust? Kuro did, but like the Wisp Gyro, that's so ambitious, and you know you're on an active shrine. They're going to run straight to Roche on TNC. I don't know, that might be a bit ambitious. I don't think they have the damage to do it before the respawn, but they know the BKB is down. And so far, 3 fights now the TNC have won. It's Liquid being aggressive over pursuing. They're catching Soulbind and then double Chain Frost. That can't happen. If you're going to win these fights, you've got to abuse the TNC's support duo before the fight starts.
Great Observer Ward that's actually up and out of range of the 2 sentry wards that Liquid put down. So they see Kuro trying to run in. Roshan very low, 1k HP. Tidehunter silenced up for the moment. GH is now going to work with him. And then the Chronosphere, 2 of them caught. Roshan brought down. And maybe with the Soulbind, is there any kind of control? It's just all control on Io. He never had a chance. It wasn't even Soulbind. It was a simple silence, and then Tinker does the rest.
If this is all a game about initiation and vision control. If you're Liquid, it's time. You gotta find a fight around a ward that TNC doesn't expect. Kuro is a mastermind at this, but it's gonna get progressively more difficult. As you can see, Tinker adept at shoving lanes at all times, top and bottom, constantly pushing towards the Liquid side of the map. And TNC just doing a great job. They're consistently killing GH at the start of fights and protecting their Lich and their Grimstroke, who are just always getting their spells off properly.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Also, like, they're positioning to get those spells off. Like, I was worried when we saw the Lich as well as the Faceless Void picked up, because it's another disappointment. It's when you've got the big combinations that you never see actually done. And that's what we had in the 3rd series today. It's like Faceless Void and Lich. We saw it actually 0 times. That combination actually worked during that. But in this game, it's been 3 times that Soulbind Double Chain Frost has been able to come out. This gives more and more time for the Tinker to get stronger. He's up to level 2 on the Dagon. He can buy the 3rd if he wants to, and they're waiting. It's Tinker wards with the Sentry, no hiding, but Armel's playing from the southern side, while the rest of TNC are pushing up mid.
And that combination, there's a reason they gave Wisp and immediately went into this combo, because the Soulbind, even through BKB, links the Wisp and Gyro together in bounce range. GH wants to be able to drop Tether, roll away, and then come back in to re-engage. He can't do that when affected by that ultimate.
And again, like, TNC, they need to have this advantage. They know this fight's going to get harder. Level 15 arrived on Io, so you got the Tether Grand Scepter bonus, even high ground defense. Even if GH does what he did before and teams up with the Tidehunter, then you're giving him more buffs. And Tide, he has so much information. He'll go for the Gush, but it's actually as Tinker TP's out. The Grimstroke, Soulbind, gets the double silence, and here we go again! Another Chain Frost! The Ravage will at least catch out on 2, but Arnold's back into the tree. Charges up, they can see where he's going, but a Chronosphere, it cleans them up. And Shadow, he wants to help out the back, keeping Gabby off the back of Tidehunter so he can move forward. He wants the Tinker, saving the Anchor Smash for it. They break the Aegis to the Immortal, and where's the help? Centaur can't do anything, so you'll bring him back up again. A time walk down, then maybe with the charge, it will cancel off any kind of extra effect that comes from the Stampede. Too good, and they're right on top of him. They burn through Gabby. He goes down, never got that BKB off.
Got it delivered. I thought he might pop it to try and save his own life, but alas, I think Armel he was a bit too greedy there. He gets the kill on Wisp. You've got to cycle back. Expect that at some point in this fight you're going to be charged, and he got that TP interrupted with a full second or two left.
TP is going to get cancelled.
Oh no.
And Spirit Breaker. You'll play with him for a little bit. TP support's coming over from Gyro. Now I'm actually really waiting to see the Tether over. Yeah, come on, Kuro. What have you got else left? It's just, how hard can you push him? Centaur, he's taunting. He knows he's going to die, but at least he'll do it with style. A hoof stomp down, but Matumba's Anchor Smash. So much damage when he's also got the Desolator.
He also talented for the Gush, like we've seen time and time again. 12 armor reduction on Gush. 7 from the Desolator.
I really actually want to see GH almost team up with the Tide more.
Yep.
But he needs to give that bonus to Shadow. Shadow needs to be the big hero for damage.
Exactly. We talk about it a lot. Whenever you have these heroes like Gyro Medusa, damage steroids become so much more effective. Sure, you don't have a hero that necessarily provides auras, but when you can just put minus 19 armor on a target, Shadow could be attacking something 1,000 units away, and just those flak attacks can be able to finish that kill. Armel, you've got to play perfectly, man. You cannot be... You can't die. You cannot die, or the damage of TNC disappears.
Yep.
And the Gyro, like somehow Shadow, even though Liquid has made a couple of miscues, they're in. They have 2k gold ahead, and Shadow's top of the net worth chart, or at least he was until just a moment ago.
Yeah, effective net worth also puts him up just because he gets the free Aghanim Scepter from GH. So you could look at the money just from that side of things, and the fact that GH now has a mech. His sustain's going to get better. And TNC, they're dropping GH down, but they're only just at the moment killing him. And unless they're able to hold him in the Soulbind and then Tinker opens up, if they don't get that combination on GH, it's going to be problematic.
Yeah, and I like how Darkseer and Tide have played this game. They both have Blink Daggers. You only have one BKB and it's on the Void. Now you have 3 heroes. The break, all the strength heroes can theoretically hunt the Tinker and find him. And then there could even be a relocate on top if necessary.
This Observer Ward is doing so much. They know they're farming up the Ancients, and they lock them together. Here's your combination! Mind Control tries to do something. Jumping on the Tinker on the back, but double buybacks. They're going to try and turn this one around. GH and Shadow moving forward. Gabby, he's jumped down, begins his own TP. They go after the Centaur. He's down in the trees. Blink off cooldown a couple of seconds time.
Oh my god, they're so fast!
Yeah, remember?
Did you see that?
Tethered together. You hold the same movement speed as each other.
Yeah, it was 839 when surged. Holy shit.
Maybe this is that time you get AoE surge on the Darkseer. Actually, isn't even required. They just relocate down, find the kill over on Centaur. Kuro kept with the gank. And now you look towards the mid lane. Matumba, Blink, Ravage is available. They really want to be able to push some kind of big objective.
Tinker has 8 armor, okay? If he gets caught by a Ravage, Matumba Man might just kill him in a single smash. Especially you add in like just a couple of pokes. He'll be at negative 10.
TP forward. Tidehunter, oh, they don't see it, but Darkseer, he still wants to jump forward. Lich pulled back, but protected by Glimmer Cape. They'll take the tier 2 tower, even through the Frost Shield. 18 seconds without the Centaur. Then again, he doesn't have Stampede, and Chrono's on cooldown for 50 seconds time.
I just want to see him surge the gyro again. Like this, it just doesn't feel like Dota at times when you have these race cars zooming through the map.
Yeah, you thought Bloodseeker was always the meme for the fastest movement speed.
And that's the thing, like, don't get me wrong, TNC, you're in a fine position. It's an even game, but Liquid are going to have a much easier time ending the game. All they need is that one fight. The tower damage of TNC doesn't exist. They're going to need to continuously kill Liquid again, kill Liquid again.
Yep.
Yeah, but Liquid just need to wipe you once, and Gyro's in your base, and a Rax is dead, and another Rax is dead. Just like we saw LGD do to Vici a couple of days ago.
Yeah, but they do still have to spend money. Like, they wouldn't have won that fight without spending the cash. If that fight didn't include 2 buybacks, one from the SB and one from the Tidehunter, then this advantage wouldn't just be 3,000. The gold advantage is kind of plateaued a little bit over the last 10 minutes. It's bounced up and down between the 2 teams, but there's only 2K separating them. It's the experience where there's the bigger advantage. 12K going the way of Team Liquid. They're starting to get these high levels up. This also happens because you get the plus 40% experience gain over on the Tidehunter, who's been living through all these fights.
And it gets scarier and scarier, I feel, as TNC continue to play this game, because really, Tinker at some point is going to die. And it becomes harder and harder for him to avoid these Liquid heroes. They have double blink to find him. They've got the charge, it's always a threat. I mean, in about 2 to 3 seconds, a Spirit Breaker that gets surged into charge will traverse the map. And then there can be a relocate. Like, this is a very, again, tall ask for Armel.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's like, okay, Tinker's got time to get away. But you're right, if that surge is on him, there is no time available. And that's why we were kind of wondering, like, if it's going to be Yule Scepter. It's not an uncommon item on a Tinker. In fact, with the rearm, you can actually keep a hero out as an old counter to the Spirit Breaker, to the Spirit Bear when you had it, and you just kept it up in the air.
Thinking about it, though, that's impossible. How do you Yule's a charging Spirit Breaker moving at light speed? Can you catch a flashlight?
We do the Einstein thing. I'm going to ride at light speed, but I'm going to step forward. And then I'm moving faster than light speed.
I don't know if that's how it works.
It's not how it works. That's actually actually, I don't even know if that was an Einstein thing or it's just there was a horrible movie called Young Einstein when that was in it. I'd say horrible movie. It was funny, but terrible. Australian cinema.
Oh god, that's why I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, that never would have reached America.
You got TNC on the hunt. Shadowblade DD, Silver Edge prepared. This could be big.
IO going to walk into it as well. The sentry wards are down. They saw him coming. Gyrocopter. Not a great time to get snagged up by the Ancient Prowlers, but as you said, homing missile. Chasing the Faceless Void, and he doesn't want a bar of it. Liquid had everyone behind that ready to fight. Yeah. You have a Lincoln's now as well on the gyro. You've got to be careful about your spell casting. The big man, he walks out of the pit. Hey guys! Remember me? I have Aegis as well as a cheese to grant to the lucky winner who kills me. And here comes Liquid. They've got BKB finished on the Tidehunter. They're just gunning for this Tinker. They want to get onto those backline squishies. And Liquid, who do you even hit with this? Like, can you actually... Like, who is your target with the Silver Edge?
I imagine the Tidehunter just to remove the Kraken shell, but it does not feel like the most effective use of that gold on Void.
You want to hit Io maybe? Like, is that the way?
I wouldn't mind an Ags in this game, and that is what he has queued up, but I feel like the Maelstrom first just to scale
better. Look at that surge up from Mind Control. He sees him with the Sentry Ward, breaks the smoke over on the Centaur, and they want to try and fight this one. They're trying to stay separated. Here's your call down, completely wasted, but the Ravage actually catching Face's voice. The Time Walk didn't get him down the hill. He was too short, not enough length. They go for more with that Nether Strike, pushing back the big hero in the fights for TNC, taking out Tim's. No Soulbind, no control, no Wombo combo, and now Liquid take Roshan.
Dude, once again, man, Matumba, man. Usually he's relegated to that support core, right? You know, the Vipers, the Necros. He doesn't get a chance to strut his stuff, but so far, man, he's making Tidehunter look like a hard carry.
Yep.
He's a god level 25. He's 250 damage. Like
it's a heavy hitting melon. And they jump, they go in deeper. Ninja Boogie loses 2/3 of his life from one anchor smash. Limit Cape to protect himself.
He was trying to blink forwards and ravage the enemy side, but he actually just got hit by Gabby. The blink was canceled, and he realized, oh wait, there's a void here? Hit him, gushed, hit him once, anchor smashed. He was dead a moment later. That is unbelievable amounts of damage. They have the Aegis now, an 8k lead, and just watch. So you can see, he gets jumped, he ravages right as he gets hit instead of blinking onto those two supports. And this is...
Yeah, that is a horrible position for Gabby. Like I actually thought the TNC had the advantage in that fight. The call down hit absolutely nothing. TNC were able to disengage away from the initiation of Liquid, but not all of the initiation. So they start again. Shadow here for the 35-minute rune. They try and protect him with the Lotus, but Centaur Hoof Stomp doesn't care about that. It was still Shadow who was able to get the bounty, however. A TNC, they have an advantage as well. Their high ground defense is really good. They can... They've still got the combination that Liquid will be afraid of fighting into the base. You have waves of March of the Machines. Tinker for fighting inside of his own base is a lot better. And all they need to do is just hit that one combination against Liquid. I know you're down it, but I'm feeling positive vibes for a team who's behind.
They need more than one combination, Toby, because they don't have any building damage. Void is...
Yeah.
He's below the Darkseer in net worth.
He'll get it later. For now, he's currently being charged, and that's a very quick... That's a 814 movement speed. Spirit Breaker, Relocate comes in, and Koro, he connects. The TP is cancelled. No point burning the BKB. Down for 80 seconds. The Faceless Void is gone.
And that's how easy it is. Liquid, they have an easier time finding kills. They have an easier time pressuring base. And they need fewer fights to win. It's just...
Tinker,
Watch
you're charged. The charge is coming in. They can see him. He blinks once more and then TP's out. He will get back to base safely. Koro, maybe not going under tier 3 towers. Pull out.
Armel, man, you got to be a lot more... Like, when I watch other Tinkers at times play this, I know Armel does it too. He's a great Tinker. But you got to be quick casting immediately into those trees. You don't have time to just go through a full cast animation mid-wave. That's spooky.
We'll see the confidence of TNC's hold. They still don't have the creep wave, so backdoor protection is available for TNC. The mid lane pushed out. This is, again, that advantage of Tinker. There are so many machines marching in. It's a swarm. Just trying to keep Liquid out of the base, but it's a very shallow one. They're still concerned. Even getting rid of that Observer Wall, they didn't want to get in too close. Now, Koro, he's just full disco. He's Disco Cal. Every bit of lighting effect they can put on him, they've got the golden Immortal of Darkseer, not to mention the Mjolnir.
Yeah, it's just, it all comes back to that concept of acceleration. You don't see VP or Liquid make item mistakes, even though Liquid has a stand-in. Gyro went Maelstrom first item. He knew how late this game was going to go. Tinker, Naga, these two heroes are the ones that guarantee, unless you totally, utterly dominate your opponents, it's going to go to 30, 40 minutes plus. And Faceless Void has got 3, he went Mask, Shadowblade, BKB, that's great, but you've lost a couple fights now, and you're suddenly a non-factor.
Look at that speed! This Gyrocopter, he's popped the rockets! Instantly, Tim just explodes. He'll buy back in deep. Double hooks on. This is nice. Where's the combination? The Chronosphere! Gabby got it. Then, however, the follow, the Topman's Ravage makes it difficult. Gabby just fighting for himself, but he does kill up the Ire. They've lost that amplification, but Gabby, he cannot fight against Matumberman. That is way too strong. Has to run away, but another Hopstomp just try and delay the attack. Keep the racks alive. Soul Bind not available. PKP from Shadow. Now all will be popped. They still want to try and fight. Negative armor on the Centaur, and that's why he just evaporates all health, but no protection. The racks is gone, and that's enough for Liquid. They'll back up with no IO. This is huge. TNC could still hold, but it's a rough ask.
Yeah, and you can see Mind Control playing that flawlessly, just not getting antsy, all right? Lesser players might have been tempted, I want to blink in and vacuum, let's get involved. He's just chilling, hits that AoE surge on both of his cores. They know that they're really not threatened. You tank that Centaur stun, it doesn't matter. You can run away from the base at 800 move speed. You're outpacing a Stampede. Their cheat is chasing after, what's a slower creature? I was going to say gazelles, but it's similar.
Yeah, gazelles can move pretty quickly. Let's just say like a tortoise. Cheetah versus a tortoise.
Nah, well,
that's too easy.
Wildebeest. Cheetah versus wildebeest. That's like, that's, you know...
You're giving it a fighting chance.
Ecologically accurate, yeah. you have a possibility.
A cheetah versus a hippo. Actually, hippos can be real fast.
You can't even like, I've seen videos of lions like jumping on top of hippos. You actually can't break through their skin.
No, you can't break through the skin, and a hippo's jaw will actually snap you. Like, it's so strong.
Hippos are terrifying.
Well, Tinker.
Just like this Liquid lineup.
Nice transition. Laser upgraded. I was actually wondering if he was going to look for the mini suns and to try and stop the charging forward, but he went for laser buff up, even though he doesn't have an Aghanim Scepter on the Tinker.
Yeah, it comes down to the building damage, Liquid understanding their lineup, and it looks so promising for TNC, and it's deceptive because they're winning fights, but then you think, wait, where were the objectives? Where was the building damage? And how much easier is it for Liquid to close out games?
Just watch this Tidehunter damage go through the roof. He's already a plus 359. And, double chrono. Here's the Wallbar combo. Hit him in the pit. 2 heroes down. Spirit Breaker's gone. No way that Liquid can reply that fast enough. He was just looking at the DD and saying, oh, this would be nice to grab.
And this is a great example of the point we were just articulating. Yeah, you get these 2 huge kills. It's great for TNC, but now your chrono cooldown is for 95 more seconds, Tide's up in 100. So yeah, sure, you could continue to pressure, but I'm pretty sure Liquid's confident they could 3v5, and I'm sure they'll have buybacks ready to go if TNC overcommit.
So instead, like TNC, they just push out the side lanes, they get control, maybe they can take this free mid tower, but no, Liquid, they jump forward, the Darkseer wall, Stampede, only other choice, they have to back out of it. As Trimscope, that's going in a little deep, even with a Blink Dagger. His cores are currently trying to get rid of the Darkseer illusions.
And like you can see TNC even up 2 heroes. Yes, buybacks are a threat, but you still can't play with confidence because the tool you use to win all of these fights is on cooldown. I again point, maybe you how do you win this game, Gabby, with these items?
Do you get Aghanim Scepter instead of this Lincoln Sphere pickup?
Lincoln isn't going to do a goddamn thing,
you just need like Chronosphere, lower cooldown all the time. You can have it up. Obviously, you're still going to have the combination with a Grimstroke. Like that's a 50-second cooldown time. They look to prime push mid. Maybe they just want the force to buy back over on the Tidehunter because there's no Ravage up. Centaur, Inkswell, he does not go for the jump.
No chrono, they are unable to take fights. Like, yes, you have a Hex on Tinker, but the moment he shows himself, he will immediately be charged, and that's where the buyback could come in. The BKB relocate. Like, you just all in for him.
Do you almost like buy a Lincoln Sphere over on the Tinker? So I was like, you can't instantly charge me anymore. It seems like a stupid item to get, but right now, like, he's just too visible. He's got 5.5k gold on this Tinker.
I could see that. I think I still Ags. It's too late for Ags. Maybe Shiva's the problem. It's the same problem.
Yeah,
he has to play the outskirts of fights, and
but like the Aghanim Scepter feels like you almost need to when you get the plus laser damage. So at least you get some efficiency when Liquid are trying to push up into the high ground. But they push so fast that by the time you hit them, It's not a range harassment anymore.
He's going to buy a BKB, which at least allows him to play with confidence against the Ravage. The problem is, unless a core is CC'd by Chrono, like Tide plus Gyro kills Tinker through BKB.
Yep.
All Gyro does is hit something just like we do Shadow do in the base when he killed that Rax. He flaks, the Tumba Man blinks on top.
Okay. I don't know where we're going again, but that was fun. Aghanim Scepter is on the Centaur, so there's a damage reduction of 40%. This will buy TNC a little bit of time. And you've then got the Frost Shield, so maybe they can keep someone alive. But Matoman, they charge him in towards Roshan. Roshan is not alive yet. He will respawn in 55 seconds.
You have an Arcane Rune on the Tinker bottled, near 7,000 gold. Again, not sure what item really changes the status quo. We know the problems TNC has, how they deal with them remains to be seen. Liquid.
It's delay. It's a BKB thing. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Liquid's confident. It's only an 11k lead, which is still quite a lot, but at 44 minutes or so, it's not so large. And yeah, you got a Rax too, but against Tinker, that's relatively irrelevant. He's always going to be able to keep that lane shoved. In fact, even against the super creeps, he's got the creep wave bottom on the tier 2. They run under the ward though. This could be good for TNC.
Observer and Sentry, do they want to try and find this? They're together. There's the Hoof Stomp. They need the double combination, but Centaur, they do actually hit it with a Soul Bind, but once again, the Ravage pops off, and that Lich Chainfrost bounces around, but it goes the opposite direction with everyone together. Shadow gets the double kill underneath the shrine. TNC die. 5 heroes. They were in that, and 4 of them died. Centaur, the only one to get out, but he got caught in the Chrono.
Shadow is healing with Satanic hits while he's in Chronosphere, thanks to that Aghanim Scepter upgrade from Wisp. And you have a BKB on both targets. And that double Lich ult's irrelevant now.
Look at the AoE surge. They just go up into the high ground once again. Everyone even grouped up for it.
And you can see the difference, right? 2 heroes dead on TNC. Liquid's diving the base. 2 heroes dead on Liquid. TNC have to play safe and scared.
Tana finally gets out of the tree line. I think he was waiting for the Tinker to jump into the tree line and just get that instant kill. So the lane of Rax now on top is gone. Both sidelines taken care of, and they get the buyback from the Faceless Void. But
Shadow is 10,000 gold.
Yeah, he wants to... Okay, maybe he should spend some of that. But the push is coming into the mid lane. The tier 3 tower, he's buying it up now. But Liquid, they want to jump. No Ravage available, but a Daedalus on the Tidehunter. You look for that damage. Great Hoof Stomp, catching 3. Soul Bind him. The Chain Frost should be pretty damn good as well. But Ninja Boogie, they don't actually have anything. The Soul Bind can't be there because you don't have the Grimstroke alive. I look for it, and there's like nothing.
18-14 on those crits.
Tidehunter is a real hero. Now move back and do Roshan with Lich dead. Combinations down once more. No Chronosphere available for 14 seconds. Gabby can't get there in time. Roshan dies too quickly.
And they wouldn't even matter if he was. There's no Chronosphere available, and we've seen just how fast he dies if he's attacked for even a few moments by these Liquid cores.
Now
Refresher.
You've got... Refresher Sharper Tide, so you got double Ravage, you got double BKB for him to stay immune. That Butterfly was purchased up by the Gyrocopter. He's already moved his treads out, so he can switch in. Oh, he moved the S and Y out. Sure, why not? They got no direct damage now, TNC, to kill off Shadow.
Yeah, and they have 2 pipes.
Stomp. Try and hold him in position. Looking for the follow-up stunts, but Lotus Orb will protect Shadow. Homing missiles, jumping forward. All 3 go towards the Centaur. Call down. That seems a little preemptive as the Chronosphere on bottom lane. They're catching Matumba. He cannot get anything off it. Then he just uses buyback. They actually have no Chronosphere now, buying BTs. Why do I just feel like I got debated?
The status resist on this Gyrocopter, my god, he's getting stunned for all of like a second and a half.
There's your Ravage, #1, instantly removing off the Grimstroke. It's buyback to Marvel, and they need the extra control. A double stop from Kura, but here comes your Ravage. Matumba, next up, he'll break free instantly, and they're a little bit too far away from Gabby. He jumps forward, but there's no Chronosphere. He has to bounce back instantly. The damage is just so high. GH actually has the tethered ability. He was doing more damage than I've seen the Faceless Void do. Another hook stomp forward. They look towards the center. Armel jumps in deep. BKB will protect him. He'll actually rearm and blink further away, trying to fight underneath their own tier 4 towers. Now the charge forward. Damn, they move fast. Through the center, through the void, and in through to the next round. They will take the fountain, and Team Liquid keep their lower bracket hopes alive. They already got knocked down by Team Secret, they've got their winner's bracket position, but Liquid move forward.